Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Gladys Kitchen. Welcome to Cooking with Gladys. So today, I hope that many of you saw my link that I was preparing to make pasteles, but this is a different way of making it. And the reason I came up with this is because I'm going to be visiting my daughter in Thanksgiving. And, you know, when you're preparing for Thanksgiving, you're making a lot of things. And making pasteles, which is a traditional Puerto Rican dish that we make over the holidays, I wanted to make a tray as opposed to individual dumplings because that's what it is. So yesterday I made the dough, which is made out of yams that are ground by hand. And I also seasoned the pork. I showed pictures. And I'm going to start to make the stew. So I put the pot on, I put a little bit of oil, and I'm going to go over there. So what are we going to put in there? Besides this wonderful meat that's already been seasoned, we have some veggies that we use to make the stew. And we got to make it very flavorful because part of the liquid that we make with the stew is going to go into the dough to make it even more savory. So here I have half a cup of red pepper. I have a bunch of cilantro here. So this is about half a cup of cilantro. I have a half a cup of onion and about a quarter cup of garlic. Now the garlic, I used 4 garlic cloves and I smashed them in my pilon or mortar and pestle. I mashed it in here because for this particular dish you have to mash it. And I also have 4 teaspoons of sofrito and an envelope of sazon that we're gonna add from Goya. This is very good. And I'm gonna use 8 ounces of tomato sauce. This is Spanish style Goya that we use. And last but not least, we're going to add a can of chickpeas to our meat. This is very traditional. The only thing that I do not add is raisins. I don't like raisins in this. A lot of people do add it, but I don't particularly care for it. So I'm going to be moving the camera over to where I have the pot on right now. And we're going to put the veggies in first and start to cook the veggies before we put the meat in. In this particular dish, we're not going to put the meat in now. That goes after the veggies are in. We add the tomato sauce and all that, and then the meat is going to go in, and we start to move things around. And we're also going to use, I forgot to mention, chicken stock. So we're going to use about 2 or 3 cups. It depends on how it looks, and we'll go through that, okay? And a lot of tasting. And last but not least, we have these roasted peppers. And at when the meat is no longer pink, I will add this. Right now, I'm not going to add it, okay? So moving over, let me move you guys over so you can see it. See if you can see my pot. So I'm just moving my camera over a little bit. Here we go. So you can see my pot. It is on. You're not going to be seeing me. Okay. So here we're going to add the peppers and the veggies. And for this dish, you know, you guys, a lot of you people who've seen me cook, that I cook with wine. But for this dish, it's very typical. I'm not adding any wine to this. So, and I want it to come out very traditional the way we make it. This is a staple. Pasteles is something that I grew up with since I was a little girl. I used to help my parents make it. But there's a downside. When I was a little girl, we used to go everywhere. We started making pasteles in November, right? So my grandmother was making some, my aunt was making some, all our friends were making some. So every time, you know, we would have our pastel on Thanksgiving, and then from there, every place we went, they would offer us a pastel. By the time Christmas came around, I really couldn't even look at one pastel. It was too much. But here, it's not like that. We don't do it all the time. And sadly to say, we don't have such a big family now. So we do get to enjoy. And there's so many versions of this dish. I mean, you can find this on YouTube on how to make pasteles the traditional way. But this dish is something I would like to make and see how it comes out, because if it really comes out well, then it's something I can do in New York when I go visit my daughter, and I don't have to go through all the trouble of wrapping each dumpling. And it's a lot of work. You need a lot of friends, plus, you know, and it can be a lot of fun, but not when you are preparing for a big dinner and you're having a lot of people. So I'm going to add my sofrito to this. And I'm not, and we're going to add our cilantro. Our sazon, because we need that. And we're going to, this is what it is. I'm basically making a sauce. This is what this is. I'm basically making a sauce before I add the meat. And letting this, so you have to let this kind of cook together. The chickpeas I'm not going to add right now. That's going to come later. And then at some point, when the meat, and people are talking to me and I don't see what they're saying. What are they saying? All people are watching. Okay, so I love pasteles. I don't know, you know, people who don't know about our Hispanic traditions, what is a pastel? So in Puerto Rico, we have these yams. We have yams that are like, there's a taro root, green bananas, plantains. There's another root called malanga, another yam called malanga. And basically you grind that up. And it's really delicious and then you stuff it. Basically you're stuffing it with the pork that I'm about to make.
Good pork.
And good pork. Yeah. So I'm going to start to add the meat that has been marinating overnight. I had seasoned the meat, and this is why I did not add any salt to this right now, because the meat is very well marinated, and I do not want to add anything until I taste the stew. So this is a lot of pork. This is 3 pounds of pork. Okay? I took my time, and you'll have to cut it in teeny tiny pieces. And I think if my aunt was watching, she would say, it's not small enough. They're too big. You need to cut them smaller. But I did the best I could. Because you're putting it inside a dumpling. But since I'm going to be making it a little different, and this stew is going to take about an hour to cook. But I just wanted you to see me put it in the pot. And then what's going to happen is once it's done, I'll come back online when I'm ready to put the pastel together. I also left some of the bones for flavor. They're in here. So the pork, if it came with some bones, I left the bone in here. And you do that so that the stew can get all that fabulous flavor. Yeah. And basically we have to cook this until the meat is no longer raw. That's what we're doing right now. And as you can see, I don't have a lot of oil in here because pork is fatty, although I took a lot of fat out, but I left a little bit in. Smells, I wish you could smell it. The aroma is fantastic. Yes, marvelous. And this pot is perfect for this stew. And I have my flame on medium right now. So we have to let it cook before we could add any liquid to it. So what I might do is just put it up just a tad so it could cook a little more. So how many people who are watching me, I'm gonna turn my camera so you can see me while this cooks. Hi! My thing doesn't want to stay up. Anyway, how many people make pasteles on their own? There's always a group of people that get together to make it because not everybody knows how to make it. It smells so good, my girlfriend says. Okay. Well, Nilda, I'm gonna send you some. No te apure. You're gonna get a little piece of this. So Rose is watching. Rosa, how you doing, girl? That's good. I'm glad to see you, that you're watching. So this morning I went to my friend's house. I don't know if you guys saw the video that when I had to get banana leaves, So my friend has a what do you call it?
Backyard garden.
A garden, and he grows plantains, and I needed banana leaves, and he has two big trees. So he got me the banana leaf, plus he prepared it for me because you just don't cut it and use it. So this is what it looks like. See, it's discolored because it's been put over the fire. Makes it more pliable. It also takes out, if you touch it, it's soft. It's not sticky. And you also have to wash it. And when I put this together, I'm going to be on the tray. It's going to go the banana leaf. Then it's going to go the dough, and then it's gonna go the meat, and it's basically like a lasagna, right? This is what I'm making. A pastel lasagna. That's what it is. Pastele lasagna. Can you believe that? Because, you know, if I'm going to my daughter's house for Thanksgiving, I don't have the time to do all this wrapping. And yes, maybe people will say, well, you could do it in your house and take it with you. Or, yes, I could do all that. But if there's an easier way of doing it and it tastes good, why not, right? Also, too, that the other thing is not. Oh, my phone did not fall. It's just this thing doesn't want to stay up. Okay, things happen. I don't know why this thing doesn't want to stay up. Okay, there. Sorry about that. Hopefully it won't happen again. All right, so the meat is starting to cook. It smells awesome. Oh my God. This stew is going to be so good. So like I said before, we have to make sure we add a lot of liquid to this. Okay. It's good. I'm going to bring it back to medium. I had put it up on high a little bit, but I'm going to bring it down. And we're going to add some of this liquid, the chicken stock. I'm going to first start with 2 cups and see how that goes. So we're gonna start with 2 cups. We're gonna taste, of course. Okay. It is not enough. It has to go. It's definitely not enough. So I lost my glove. I don't know where I put it. Okay, glove number 2. All right. Let me just show you the pot because I added where is it? I don't know if you can see it. Now we can see it. See, I added the liquid. That's not enough, as you can see. It's simply not enough liquid. We need much more. So we're gonna add, I guess I'm gonna use this whole thing of chicken stock. So let's go cup by cup. More, needs more. So basically the whole thing. So the whole thing I used for the chicken stock because we need the liquid. Okay. And it's not that the liquid is going to go into the dumpling. It doesn't. It's that you're going to use it to flavor your dumpling. See, now that's good. See, now we got enough liquid. Now I'm going to taste. Before I add the chickpeas, I want to see what the flavor is right now. What does it need? And it will tell me that. once I taste it. I need a spoon. So let's taste. It has to come to a boil, but we're gonna give it a little taste. So yes, it needs some stuff. It's good, but it could use a little help. So I always save some of my things for later. So we're gonna use a little bit of beef bouillon. A little beef bouillon. And I think it needs another sazon to it. But first, I'm gonna use, see this is beef, little envelope. I'm gonna add to it. You know, actually, do I have the chicken one? Let me see. Let's stick with chicken, right? We're doing chicken, let's stick with chicken. Let's not mix everything up. But, you know, we all cook that way, and sometimes when we don't have what we're looking for, we'll use what we got. But I do have the chicken one, so let's stick with that. So we're gonna add that. It does have very good flavor, but it definitely needs something else. It's really good. Look at that. That is really good. Really delicious. Perfect. I wanted you guys to see me make it. Let me wash my spoon. No double dipping. Let's try again. And we will taste it again later. It's good. I still think it needs something else. It's good. It needs more something. Okay, so this is, you know, a cook in action. What else can we put in it? We need, I only put 1 envelope of sazon. I was being very careful with my ingredients, but we're gonna add 1 more. Needs it. It's good, but it could be better. So we use these ingredients in our cooking all the time. All right. Wash the spoon, taste again. Now we're talking. Now we're talking, right? Now we're going to add the chickpeas. It's not a lot, but just a bit. It's kind of traditional to kind of put the chickpeas in there, so we're going to put the chickpeas in here. I'm definitely going to have stew left over, and that's okay, because I know Nilda would like some, and she could have it over rice if I have some left over. That looks awesome. All right, now we're going to also add, remember we talked about the roast peppers? We're going to do the roast peppers. Now the roast peppers come in this fabulous liquid. We cannot waste that. So we're going to add that. Oh yeah, hello. And I'm going to just take a moment to cut this up and add it, because what is pasteles without roast pepper? You have to have roasted peppers in your pastel, right? Right. Okay. And I know that. I need something. So pardon me while I cut these peppers. It's one thing I didn't do. So I'm just gonna cut them up. Okay, so we cut everything up, and here goes the roast peppers that we're going to add to the dish. And now we're gonna let this cook for a good 45 minutes, and I will be back. I'm gonna taste it one more time now that I added the chickpeas and all that. I'm gonna cover it. Yeah, that is really good. I still think it needs a little something, and I don't know what that is. I'm gonna add maybe so we're gonna add something else to this. Let me try it. This is ham, ground ham, that comes in powder. Goya makes it. So I added an envelope of that, because, like I said, it has to be savory. And it's good, but I'm still not at that point where I'm happy. One more time. I don't know. One more thing. Did I take it out? I must have taken it out. Where did I put it? All right. I think we're just gonna let it cook and see where we wind up. And what did I do with that? I took it out, and I don't know what I did with it. Okay. This side. All right. All right. So my people, I will be back in 45 minutes. We're gonna let this stew cook. Okay, it has everything it needs. I'll be checking it every 30 minutes to see how it's doing. So when I'm ready to put everything together, I would say in 45 minutes, I will come back. I hope you join me in 45 minutes when I start to put it together. And you can see what the tray looks like. That will be interesting. Okay, so bear with me with that. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say, I wanted to take this opportunity. I don't know how many people know me, but I have been on a program that's helping me slim down a bit. So I lost already 12 pounds. I think today's my cleanse day. And I know I was tasting that, which is okay. It won't kill me. So today's my cleanse day, and I'm pretty good with that. What does that mean? That means I'm just drinking liquids and just feeling good, and this is my fourth cleanse for me. So it's working out really well, and I'm very happy. I love the program. The program is called Isogenics. And I usually have a shake in the morning and a shake in the evening, and I have one meal. So it depends. Sometimes I'll have two shakes because back to back, like lunch, breakfast and then lunch, if I'm going to go out to dinner. So if I'm going to go out to dinner, then, so I just, what am I doing on that day? But I make sure that I stick to the program. And the program's working. I'm going to stay on it for another month, maybe more. It depends on how well I do. And what is my goal? My goal is to lose about 25 to 30 pounds. And once I get to that weight, let's see how I look. Because I definitely feeling good. And many of you know where I live. I live on a hill, and it has a walkway, so I can walk 3 to 4 miles per day. Depends on the day. Today I made 3 miles because yesterday I was standing for the longest time, making the dough, and for whatever reason this morning I couldn't get to the 4th round. My legs were hurting, so when I pay attention to my body. So if my body's saying, that's it, girl, I said, okay, time to go in. So that's what I did. All right, my people. I'll be back. All right. See you soon. See you in 45. In 45 minutes, right, to put it together. Okay? Okay.